our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this station.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm. And as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon, especially on this TGIF Open Line Friday. Before we get started, I want to sincerely apologize for the late start. I had all good intentions of being here on time, but you know what they say about good intentions, right? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. As you try to squeeze too much into the time that you have, and it gets away from you, and then traffic makes it worse. So I do sincerely apologize for the late start today, especially today, because we got so much to talk about. Good Lord. Hey, we got plenty of ground to cover, y'all. Of course, you know the drill. You are my co-host today, so I'm expecting to hear from you. I'm not going to be talking to myself until 4 o'clock. I want to hear from you. The telephone number is called 3260271. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for text messages only. Text messages only. 8010271, 8010271. Please do not call 8010271 because I ain't going to answer you. You have to send a text message there. If you want to call, you have to call 3260271 or 3260272. All right? That's how you call to get on the show. And don't call and ask my producer if you could speak to me in the middle of the show. Clearly that can't happen because I'm doing the show. So, yeah, let's talk about the week that was. So first on my list, y'all remember that song, Big Fight in Baintown? Somebody like Mary Dunn. It was Mary, right? And everybody know Mary don't take no mess. Well, this fight didn't happen in Baintown, but it happened at a meeting that the Free National Movement was holding with its own supporters. And apparently, there was some big breakdown between the Free National Movement supporters, which led to a fight. Now, I don't know if that's the top one on the list, Jason. That's the top one? Okay. Y'all listen to this, please. Go ahead. You can play it.
We understand that an altercation took place at a constituency meeting Tuesday night at the Gerald Cash Primary School to nominate candidates for branch posts. Now, sources claim a man was intoxicated and became involved in a verbal match with another man who reportedly began beating up on him with his hands and fist. According to Eyewitness News sources, the fight intensified, resulting in the man being taken to the hospital for his injuries.
Well, required evaluation in the hospital, suffered a fracture of his jaw, as well as a serious injury to the hearing in one of his ears.
Witnesses also tell us that the victim allegedly spoke out against the former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis and his leadership. His attacker, according to sources, is said to be a staunch supporter of the former Prime Minister. Tonight, a police report now filed against the attacker, and the party now launching an internal investigation into the matter.
Even the slightest association of the Free National Movement brand, the organization, with violence, this is not us.
The altercation occurring in the parking lot at the conclusion of that meeting. San says the violent act has left a bad taste in the mouth of the party's leadership.
You can't change what has happened. Certainly what you can do is to respond appropriately and send the message that no excuses, this is not, will not be tolerated.
This comes as the party continues to find its footing following its crushing defeat at the polls in last year's snap election.
To have a situation like this where Free National Movement supporters engage in violence for whatever reason, it is abhorrent, it is unacceptable, it will not be tolerated by this leadership.
Okay, so for the record, the reporter covering that story said that they did reach out to former Free National Movement leader and former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis for comment, but he ain't respond. Now, this is Sam Hubert Minnis, who since September last year, prior to the election last year, you couldn't, as a reporter, you couldn't, I mean, you know, he just had no time for you. And then after he lost, he couldn't shut up. Every time you turn around, he got a statement to make on something or the other. And now all of a sudden you mum? Okay, so I am no career politician or nothing like that, right? You all know I ran in the last election and failed miserably. But even I know that is not a good look for any political organization to have your own supporters beating up each other. For the record, this ain't a PLP on F&M situation. There's two F&Ms who obviously are on opposing sides of opinion as to the leadership of the party. We all been hearing about the problems within the F&M and the splintering and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, many have said that the former leader, Minnis, did a lot of things that really turned a lot of F&Ms off, and that's why many of them didn't show up to the polls. And he clearly hasn't gotten the message yet that he should just go away quietly. I don't know if in the back of his head, somebody whispering, boy, you still got a chance to come back. You know, I don't know what's going on in his mind. I ain't trying to pretend to be no mind reader. But blind Blake could see that he still think he need to stay relevant for whatever reason. Right? Because every time you turn around, he got something to say about something. Except this. So, you know, the splinter must be seriously deep within the Free National Movement when two of their supporters are going to engage in a fight to the degree where one has a fractured jaw and lost hearing in an ear. In other words, that was no little top. And from what I am hearing, from what we are understanding, this is going to go before the courts, which allegedly, which is bad news for the alleged attacker or the alleged perpetrator of this assault, because I understand that that person is already in problem the judicial system, and if he got to go back before them again, he might have to spend some time at Her Majesty's pleasure at the Department of Corrections. But what say you on this? We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed, you know. Tried, you guys were off air earlier, huh?
Huh?
You were off air earlier today?
No.
I tried at 2 o'clock and I couldn't find you all on the dial for nothing.
Oh, I don't know what was happening.
Yeah,
there.
for about almost half an hour I couldn't get the station. But in any
Wow.
event, here
Okay.
we are.
Mhm.
What I'm calling about today, Michelle, is something that I came across in the Nassau Guardian recently. Dated, it's on it's on August 19th, 2022, last Friday. Before I actually, it has to do with a press release that the Bahamas National Trust put out. But before I do that, I'd like, for accuracy, if you could help me with some information, because I want to be sure of the foundation I'm laying here. The situation some years ago with the post office, when the Minister administration had secured the use of that the Town Center Mall for the post office, was there not an understanding that the Brent Simonette, those who are the owner of that mall, was not around the cabinet table when those discussions were being had, so that there would be no conflict of interest, apparently? Was that your understanding?
I don't remember if he's around the table or not, but I remember him saying in an interview that he told the Prime Minister that would be perceived as a conflict, and the Prime Minister said to him, "Don't worry about it, I got it."
Right. Now, you actually jumped a little ahead of what I was getting at, because that was the controversial point that came out after the fact,
Mm-hmm.
when a lot of people were making noise about the post office, and it was leaked, so to speak, or Brent Simonette came to the public, I'm not sure how it was, and said to the public that yes, the Prime Minister did speak with him, but that speaking with the Prime Minister by Brent Simonette apparently and allegedly was off the Cabinet's record.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
I believe so.
Okay. See, I'm laying that groundwork for this reason, Michelle. And if anybody can look at the article in The Guardian for the 19th of this last Friday. Was that last Friday? Yeah, last Friday. It basically talks about the Bahamas National Trust stating that somebody who has interest in that project, that mining project proposed for North Andros, is a board member of the Bahamas National Trust. Now, somebody apparently put out on social media that this alleged participant in that mining project was on BNT's board, and so Bahamas National Trust came out and made it clear to the public in their press statement that yes, this person is on their board, but the person was not involved in any of the decisions that were being had by the board related to that project. Michelle, let me tell you why I do not trust what the Bahamas National Trust is saying. And let me make it first of all clear that what I'm saying now is not any reflection on the trust itself as an organization. The reason I use the example with Cabinet and the Marathon and the Town Center Mall and Brent Simonette coming out off the record is, no matter how many times persons will remove themselves from a vote on the record, they have influences. I honestly believe, and this is my personal opinion and my gut feeling, that persons associated with that mining project in Andros is endeavoring to sway the Bahamas National Trust to support the messing up of our environment. Why do I say that? Because in that very article from on last Friday, instead of the Bahamas National Trust include their position on the project, pro or con, on the project, and I don't know if they did it before, so let me put that out there. I don't know if they did it before. But in that particular article, I think it would have been good for them to let the public know that they do not support or they do support that project, one way or the other. They didn't come out. So they left it up to me, a clear-thinking Bahamian citizen, that their absence in noting that in that article, to me, is suspicious. If they do not support the project, they should have come out in that article and said they don't support the project. So I am honestly of the view that even though somebody from that project may not be a part of the voting process relating to that project at the Bahamas National Trust, that behind the scenes, Michelle, just the way Brent Simonette made it, let the public know that the Prime Minister and him were talking off the record about the Marathon Mall, I have a gut feeling, Michelle, that this is exactly what has gone on or is going on with Bahamas National Trust and those who are related to that project in North Andros. You cannot tell me that there is no influence peddling going on with that, Michelle. And that's the point I'm making.
Well, we're going to be doing a show on that in the near future. I'm actually working on it and putting the guests together as we speak. So I want to reserve my comment for that show.
Understood. But and I will just conclude by saying this then.
Mm.
I mean, the people that I know in Andros, with whom I've spoken, and that somebody told me just a few days ago that apparently and allegedly the North Androsians are being bought out.
So I've heard. People
who do not support the project at face value are being given money allegedly to support the project. Michelle, that project, if allowed, is going to mess up that island. And what if, God forbid, we need to fall back on our freshwater reserves in this country if something happens where Nassau and other islands have to fall back on those freshwater lenses in Andros? I understand that the freshwater lens in Andros is about between 20 and 40 feet deep, below which is salt water. And that mining project will be digging down into and below the freshwater lens, which means that it's going to cause salt water to come up and pollute and indeed even displace the freshwater lens in Andros. So we as a nation would be in dire straits if we ever have to fall back on barging water again.
Again, I'm going to reserve my comment for when
I understand, Michelle,
and
mind you, I respect it, but see, I'm just speaking up today because it's on my mind.
Right.
Okay, but I will definitely be listening to your show. But Michelle, I do not trust what the Bahamas National Trust has said. I do not trust it at all. Mm-hmm. There's too much behind the scenes influence peddling going on that we are aware of and not aware of for me to ever think that they're not being influenced to support that project. And I am very, very, very bothered over the fact that they could not and have not as yet, to my knowledge, come out and said that they're not going to support, and they ought not to support a project like that. Thank you, my dear.
All right, thanks for calling. All right, the telephone number is to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. WhatsApp line is 801-801-0271. All right, so prior to JT's call, I had started along a particular trend of particular direction about what is going on within the Free National Movement, to the degree where two of its supporters get into a fist fight that results in one of them requiring hospital medical attention. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, good afternoon, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
That's good. I'm okay. Thank God for life. I want to ask a question in reference to immigrants, mm-hmm. illegal immigrants. Mm-hmm. Someone told me that last week that whenever they send illegal immigrants back to their country from the Bahamas, that they pays them money. I was shocked when I heard that. So I said, no, I have to speak to either a government official or someone who knows about this. So someone around referred me and said, why don't you call Michelle Malcolm show? You know, when she have open topic, and I found out that on Fridays are open topic. So I want to know facts on that. Is that true?
That has been the practice. I believe it continues to be. I'm not 100% sure though, but I know in the past they would pay each one of them a couple $100 as they send them back.
Oh, because the person also said, don't, speak speak that they said this is the amount that they said. They don't, repeat them. So, but they believe it's $1,000 for each illegal immigrant.
I don't think that's correct. I'm pretty sure that's not correct.
So who can I really ask in reference to that get the truth on that or get facts?
Perhaps the Ministry of the Department of Immigration, perhaps?
Department of Immigration?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay then, all right. Thank you very much.
I'm sure it's not as high as 1,000. That is not correct.
Yeah, but I can't see that happening though, because when any of our people, the humans, get deported from America, they don't get a cent or a dime.
Yeah, I don't understand why we got to pay them to send them back home.
Exactly.
That don't make no sense to me.
Exactly, and then we have the humans right here Haiti who need help and assistance. That is not right. That is not fair.
I don't think they need to be paying them anything to send them back home.
Exactly.
Because if they could find thousands of dollars to jump on a boat to come here,
exactly,
what do they need to pay you for to go home?
Exactly, because I was so shocked when they said they pay like between $4,000 or $5,000 a head to come here, even sometimes $8,000 to come here to go to Florida or wherever they do end up. I was so shocked that they paid that amount. So why pay them? Why the government, Bahamas government, have to be paying them? And they paying all that money.
I agree. That don't make no sense to me.
Exactly. We don't get nothing when we get deported from foreign or whatever country we be in.
Except a free ticket home.
Exactly. You get dropped right by the airport in the hands of the law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah. Anyway, that is my question for today. But you do be safe and have a blessed weekend.
Thank you for calling.
And you're welcome. And thank you too.
All righty. You only want to talk about this F&M Friday. Everybody call and talk about something else. Jason, they on my run today. I thought this would be quite an interesting thing to talk about, what's going on within the party. All right, let's move on, since you only want to talk about that. But I still on the F&M though, because the former leader of the F&M and the former Prime Minister, Hubert Alexander Ingram, is criticizing the practices of the Minnis administration as it relates to the appointment of sitting MPs as chairpersons of boards, corporation boards. I could take it from here. Here is what former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram had to say.
I have to say this. I said it up there. We determined, for good reason, that we would not make MPs chairman of public utility companies. Yet still, we went and made Adrian Gibson executive chairman of Water and Sewage Corporation. And now we got all kind of egg over our face. All we had to do was say, I wonder why they did that. Let's talk to somebody. You know, talk to me, talk to Tommy, talk to anybody and say, why did you all do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My one regret was that when the F&M won in 2017, that I did not have an opportunity to speak to all of those new ministers who were being appointed for the first time, who'd never been in government before, because I was not invited to speak.
Yeah.
I think I could have helped them.
Boy, Papa don't play. Papa used to say, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Or the other way around. So he is suggesting that had somebody approached him or anybody else with experience, they would have told them why it was not a good idea to put a sitting member of parliament as chairman of a board. But like he say, ain't nobody asks us nothing. And I could have helped them. I could have helped guide them. But no, they didn't want to hear nothing from us. And now, in his words, we got egg all over our face. So now, again, it goes back to the question of the former leader of the Free National Movement and former prime minister, and his apparent alleged divisive practices and attitudes. And it is legendary the way that the former prime minister Ingram was treated by the former prime minister Minnis, in terms of apparently not wanting to have anything to hear what he had to say or involve him, So clearly, it don't take a genius to figure out that there's some splintering going on within the Free National Movement. This is not a good look. You have the former prime minister saying, if they'd have asked somebody, we could have told them. That's not a good idea. And I want to say kudos to Ingram because, he mean what he's saying. He say what he mean. Because some people, when they're now in leadership, scared to say something about this Adrian Gibson situation. They scared to tell Adrian, go sit down till you get your problem solved. Everybody trying to pretend that this is not a problem. Papa come out and say, now we got egg all over our face. So he ain't biting no words. He ain't holding back like the people say. He ain't a budge. He letting you know just what he thinks of the situation. Why is it that the current leadership can't see what a bad look this is as it relates to the Adrian Gibson situation? And speaking of bad look, reports emerged yesterday of a water and sewage employee being threatened via letter. And I don't know if this was just somebody being mischievous or if there was some authenticity to the threat, but apparently this letter had the same name in there, Adrian Gibson. Again, I'm not saying that Adrian Gibson wrote the letter. I'm not suggesting that. But whoever decided to write this letter and send this to this water and sewage employee included Adrian Gibson's name in the letter. Here now is a news report on this threat that this Water and Sewage Corporation employee received.
A senior employee at the Water and Sewage Corporation today receiving death threats, and police are said to be investigating this matter. The corporation's chairman, Sylvanus Petty, confirming as much to Eyewitness News late this afternoon. An anonymous news source providing Eyewitness News with a copy of that letter today. The sender of that letter named a sitting member of parliament and, quote, the boys, noting that you did what you had to do. Now we will do what we have to do. End quote. The letter further read that we will, quote, handcuff you if you do not resign within 3 weeks, and we will, quote, plaster your face and genitals with monkey tamarind. The letter went on to state that the executive would also be shot to death. Petty telling Eyewitness News today that the government-run utility company is doing everything within its power to ensure the safety of its employees and takes threats seriously.
All right. So again, no evidence that this was in fact written by anyone other than someone just trying to create mischief. But you got to take those kinds of threats seriously. In this day and age, you can't take it for granted that that person ain't serious. So we got this big fist fight where one F&M supporter fracturing the jaw of another one to the degree where he losing hearing in an ear. You got the former leader of the Free National Movement and the former prime minister and the person of Hubert Ingram saying, if y'all would humble yourself and ask us what to do, we could help y'all. But now we got egg all over our face with this Adrian Gibson situation. And then we get this death threat where they telling this employee, you got 3 weeks to resign or face death. What in the world is going on? It's not a caller for the show. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello. Hey, how you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Yes, ma'am. I'm good. I'm calling, not to throw off your show, but it's on the same agenda as which the topic is you're on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Hubert Ingram and the F&M.
Mm-hmm.
I was so kind of bewildered when he spoke the other day on Chicago Line show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded so kind of it sounded like one of the best rehearsed or kind of choreographed shows ever put together. But I mean, Hubert Ingram, I would never take away from Hubert Ingram. He stands next to Penland, I should say first of all, before I even make my point. But I have a few bitterness with Hubert Ingram. Like, for instance, right, when it comes to Grand Bahama, like Chicago Line was quoting all these different statistics and stats on the employee, on the employment level in Grand Bahama when it came to and all of that. But I wanted everybody to know how the economy of Grand Bahama dropped so much when Hubert Ingram was in power. When he came there, yes, there was a lot of employment with the Hutchison Agreement, which as right now today, the Hutchison Agreement is so contaminating to Grand Bahama, and they are not a friend. They're part of that. It's like everybody keep pointing it straight to the Port Authority, saying that the Port Authority is bad, but it's actually the Hutchisons that are doing most of the damage in Grand Bahama. And when Hubert Ingram came to power, and yes, he put like 5 or 6 different major hotels on one strip out of commission. Whereas my parents, who were putting me through school, and all my siblings and a lot of other parents, all of them became redundant. And yes, a lot of young people got a bunch of construction jobs momentarily, and then the hotel came around for a little while. But before that, there was the bazaar that you could actually get dressed up and go out on a Saturday and kind of have a family outing. And then Hubert Ingram came along, and he made this big agreement with heads of agreement with this gentleman from one country that came there, and he turned the Princess Casino and all of that after the Port Lucaya strip was already destroyed and made into Grand Lucaya or Lucaya, and then that went to waste. And then Hubert Ingram went ahead, put a big highway in the middle of our main street. Not a highway, he put a big man-made beach in the middle of our island and cut off the southern western end of the island from the southern central part of the island. And then the bazaar went to rubbish. And then after that, the gentleman that bought Princess Casino, he turned around and stole all the money and left the country. And I just want, like I say, I won't ignore the fact that Hubert Ingram did a lot of good, especially in Nassau, with all the roads and all the other stuff he did. But I don't want them to sit by and make it sound like Hubert Ingram was such a blessing to the world. Like, and then he is on the radio, and I won't say anything. I kind of stuck for words because I can't diss Hubert Ingram, but I want him to keep it real and know that, Chicago Line keeps saying nobody is perfect. And I agree, and I'm sure that everybody knows that.
Well, you have to remember why the Free National Movement reveres Hubert Ingram, because prior to Hubert Ingram, the Free National Movement couldn't have won an election in this country to save their life.
Yes,
and it took Hubert Ingram, who was a student of the late Sir Lyndon Penland, who learned well, came in and ushered the Free National Movement to its first victory in the history of that party. So you can understand why they hold him in high esteem. Now, again, like was said, he's not perfect. Nobody is. Yeah. But to totally ignore him and push him to the side the way that Minnis did when he took over, I thought and I think many feel this way, was foolish.
Yeah.
Because no matter how you feel about the man, he could have provided some kind of knowledge, input based on his experience that could have benefited. Now, I ain't saying you got to take everything he's saying and run with it, but it's like nowadays where you see this ageism problem where all of a sudden you hit 45 and ain't nobody will hear what you got to say after that. And but everybody runs to the young people who are great with technology and all that kind of stuff, but don't know some things that only experience can teach you.
So tell me something. Do you agree with what goes around comes around, Miss Molly?
Karma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, to a certain degree, yeah.
Yes, because do you remember in 1992 when Hubert Ingham, who was a student of Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinland.
The way he dissed Pinland?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, ain't nobody can forget that. Anybody old enough, ain't nobody can forget that.
I was so young and just learning about it and couldn't understand why my parents even shedded a tear for this man. And then heard about all the stuff that was going on and then heard about it later on in my life when I was a little more mature to understand.
Mm-hmm.
If I would go as far to say that Hubert Ingham, I mean, I hope I don't get in trouble, but kind of even put the nail in the coffin with Sir Pinland. But he treated him like a dog.
He was treated very poorly.
Yes, ma'am. And then for him to hold in such high regard to where he was treated by ministers, it sounds kind of idiotic because, like I say, what goes around comes around.
Speaking of which, I recall when after Pinland lost that election, he stayed in that House of Assembly and took plenty chafing.
Yeah.
Plenty chafing from the Free National Movement. They talked to him like a dog. He took plenty chafing. And I remember when Hubert Ingham lost the election, he wanted the new PLP government to give him an opportunity to come in there and say his goodbyes, and then he would, ride off into the sunset. And they said, no, we ain't giving you no special time in the agenda. When the time comes, you could speak then, but we ain't giving you no special time. And man, he stormed out of the House of Assembly and never went back.
Exactly.
Because he wasn't about to get treated the way they treated Pinland.
Exactly. And then I remember when he lost, I remember predicting that when he it was a Tommy Turnquest he let run for prime minister after he lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, when he said he was never running again, and I predicted that Hubert Ingham was going to be back. He just knew that he was going to lose this election. That's why he let somebody else run. And I predicted he was going to be back. And just like I said, he did come back. And when this new airways were opened up, I predicted that this was some kind of, especially when Shivago Line came on the radio too, I predicted that this was some kind of headway for him to still have a hands on this Bahamas. And just like I said, 30 years later, it was so orchestrated that he came back and he had just so much to say about this and so much to say about that. But why wasn't he more vocal when his voice could have been heard, even if he was in opposition with the F&M government, when we were being treated and dictated upon by his own administration, which he started. And now all of a sudden, now you want to say that they have egg on their face.
All right.
You understand where I'm coming from?
I hear you.
I'm just saying. I mean, I know all of them play games. That's the name of the game, politics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But like I say, I'm just listening to you. I enjoy the show and I appreciate your time. And maybe you could clarify, and I'll just be listening to hear your point of view, or maybe the nation's point of view on how I feel personally about what I seen done to Grand Bahama, especially.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate it. Speaking of playing games, we're going to take a break. But speaking of playing games, I want you to understand something, people. When it comes to politics, these politicians, these especially veterans, these politicians have two faces. One is the face what they present to you, the public, to make it seem like they are all enemies and at odds and fighting against each other. The other face is what they show to each other behind closed doors. They are all very good friends. While you out here fighting each other, breaking the people's jaw and thing, they in the background saying, look at these clowns. Now, I want you to consider that during the break, and then we're going to move on to the former Prime Minister Ingram having something to say about the way the current Prime Minister Davis is running his administration. But keep in mind, they all friends. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rim fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Less is love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
If you haven't already done so, and you are going to be looking for some food for a late lunch, I want to highly recommend, or early happy hour, highly recommend the Tiki Bikini Hut on Junkanoo Beach. which is one of the sponsors of GPS. The food is amazing. The atmosphere is fantastic. You get live music. You ride on the beach. They even rush to a little jungle situation when you come in, make you feel like a VIP that you are. Go and check out Tiki Bikini Hell on Jungle Beach. Let them know Michelle Malcolm sent you. All right, so let's get back to this TGIF open line show. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. WhatsApp 8010271. Jason, you ain't give me the WhatsApp line today. I'm busy telling people send message on WhatsApp, and I haven't got the phone. 8010271 is the WhatsApp number. Okay, so getting back to politics. So apparently, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram is taking issue with the way that current Prime Minister Philip Davis is running his administration. Keep in mind that these are two former partners in a law firm, good friends. Keep that picture in the back of your mind. So Ingram is saying that the Davis administration thus far, on the eve of their first anniversary, and I'm obviously using my own wording and language here to express what he is in essence saying. In essence, he gave them an A+ for PR. Say good PR. But according to him, they're not really tackling any of the tough issues. They just got good PR. Davis, in response, says, just in case you didn't notice, this is my administration. And the agenda we following is based on what we think is important, not what you think we should think is important. Check this out.
Last week, Ingram slammed the Davis administration, noting that they have only been focused on good public relations since coming into office last September. And in his opinion, they have been reluctant to make decisions about anything that is possibly controversial. Davis had this candid response.
First of all, I don't know what decisions he thinks we have to make or what decisions that we ought to have made. This is my administration, and we're making decisions in accordance with the plan that we've set out. It's all contained in our blueprint for change, and if you look at that, those are the things we are following. What decisions he's thinking about that we ought to make, well, he had his opportunity, I think, when he was there. This is now, and this is the Davis administration. We'll be making decisions as we deem necessary.
Some of the issues the Davis administration has been faced with so far is marital rape and the need to increase national insurance contributions. The Prime Minister says that important decisions have been made in the time given so far.
My priority has been, from my got elected, is to stabilize our economy and our fiscal affairs, which has been in shambles. That is necessary. My second priority as well is to ensure I relieve the suffering upon the Bahamian people that is wrought on by the aftermath of Dorian and wreaked by the handling of the virus and pandemic. I'm not ashamed of what we have done, and I've made the right decisions in the interests of the Bahamian people.
Now, this comes as the leader of the Free National Movement, Michael Pintard, called on the government to clarify the source of its calculation of the outstanding debt profile caused by climate events. During a climate change conference last week, Prime Minister Davis revealed that some 50% of outstanding debt can be linked to the impacts of hurricanes. Pintard is calling for some clarification.
We in the FNM call on the government to indicate the source of its calculation that 50% of the outstanding debt profile of $12.1 billion was caused by climate events between 2015 and 2019. Because at the beginning of fiscal year 2015-2016, the public sector debt stood at approximately $5.4 billion. To conclude that 50% of our current outstanding debt came from climate events would mean that almost all the growth in the debt in that time would be attributable to climate change events that happened between 2015 and 2019.
Prime Minister Davis believes that there is nothing that needs to be explained.
What clarification what needs? Let's start with what is our national debt. And let's start with just the Dorian, what the loss and damage was occasioned by Dorian. It was about 3.4 billion. Think about our national debt, see what percentage that is. And then just don't think about Dorian. Let's go back to Matthew. Let's go back to Joaquin. Let's go back to Irma and look at the loss and damage. He needs to do his homework before he asks me questions. If he don't believe it, check it out himself.
All righty then. Yeah, Prime Minister Davis said, this is my administration. You had your chance to go concentrate on what you thought was important. Now I in the seat. And we following the plan that we think is important. So thanks for your opinion, but I won't be wicked and say something. Because clearly Ingram has made it known that his own people ain't listening to what he had to say. Say we could have helped them if they didn't ask. So I guess he got to give his opinion on something. And so he's giving his opinion on the way Davis is running his administration. And Davis is saying, last time I checked, I was the prime minister. Very, very interesting times indeed. Now, I do have to say this, that, you know, for a long time, I often used to say back in the day that one of the things that the PLP failed at miserably was PR. Because they were so closed and secretive about everything that they were doing that people didn't know what was being done. And so you would go to the polls and people would obviously not be happy with what they perceived to be their performance because they didn't run on what they would have achieved. They would just run on these bunch of stupid political things and in some instances not do well. But Davis obviously learned from those mistakes of the past, and he and his administration put together a machinery through the office of the prime minister where you can know what they doing or what they ain't doing. You can know. The PR is exceptional. You know, say what you like about Clint Watson and his team, because sometimes Clint does, you know, put his foot in his mouth every now and again. But they have taken that whole role to another level. And you cannot accuse this Progressive Liberal Party, this administration, of not letting you know what, you know, they letting you know to the degree where people saying, okay, you got good PR. But what else is going on? We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, hello. Good evening. It's Malcolm.
Hi.
I'm calling you to say, whoever is in government, yes, there were a lot of things some governments did and governments changed. But right now, there's a lot of people hating in Grand Bahama and also Nassau. And the Lord has put it on me to call him because he gave another prophet this word that she was supposed to come into Nassau, and she's living in Nassau, to let the people know they need to put the guns down, put the violence down, and turn to sackcloth and ashes. And they need to stop doing what they're doing because God is angry with the young people in Nassau. And he said the murder is too much out of control. And he's tired of it. And Freeport and Grand Bahama, too much opiate going on in these two cities. This is why Freeport can't excel, because people have their hand into iniquity, and God is tired of it. He gave me a dream before Dorian hit the sea, and he said, his people will turn from their wicked ways, and then he will heal the land. The angels stand up in the air. The diver come up out of the waters in Freeport and Abaco. Those two cities, he come to wipe them out. And I'm telling the people left, right, and Nassau, wherever they live, who is behind government, they know some of these people who are doing organized crime and doing these things. They need to stop it because God said he's angry with the wicked every day. Dorian came and hit Grand Bahama. The Canonas Rider came and hit the whole entire Bahamas. And he said the killing slowed down for a while. And now they're back up again killing. And he said the gunman who's going around killing people for a living, he cannot sleep. He has a dark shadow over him. He wonders why he cannot sleep, because he's tormented, because he has killed too many people, and he's getting paid to do that. And he needs to stop it, because if he don't stop it, he's going to meet an angry God. And God is tired of the wicked every day. He said to let his people know if they would turn and cry out to him, then he would heal his land. He said there's too much murder for young children to the breast. And I said, God, why me? He gave me this vision, he gave me the sign, and the person who was supposed to do this didn't come to the forefront to do it. Now I'm telling the Bahamian people, stop it, because God said he's tired of it. Who is doing things what they know is illegal, whether it's in government, whether it's in parliament, you know it's not right in the sight of God. They need to stop it, because we're bringing down the Bahamas, and we have some white people who are living in Nassau and Freeport. They're only waiting for the black people to kill out their nation, and they will be back into the Bahamas taking over our country. And I've seen these people. I was a little child from the 60s, and I've been seeing the things that white people have said, because they don't like the black nation. They preferred the black people to be killed because they want black people to be extinct. But the people in Nassau fail to forget, when they kill their own people, they're putting their own people extinct. I'm asking the gun leaders, the ones who have gun under their mother bed or under their mother's shelter of the house, stop it. Get rid of those guns. Turn those guns in. Stop it before you come and God come and meet you, or come and angry way to you, because he is tired of the wicked every day. And the people are doing some things that is ungodly. Drive-by shooting, that's murder. People put out to killing. You imagine man come out of jail, and you're a law officer, and you turn around and know who killed them. God is not pleased with these things. And he said, warn the people, because something else serious is coming. God bless you. Have a nice evening.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. I said on my show the other day, same scripture, that, those of us in the church need to begin this movement and turn from our own wicked ways, seek God's face. But I agree with the caller in that there's consequences when you see the level of sin rising to the degree that it has in this country. It's consequences. It's consequences. Is that a caller for the show? Is that a caller for the show? No. I've heard a lot. I've heard several people talk about these visions that they have seen. And I am included in it because I see things in dreams. I'm what you call a seer. And I see things in dreams before they occur. And I've heard people time and time again warn about a catastrophe that's going to hit if we don't stop. Somebody says, why do you listen to the nonsense from these people? See, Carlton, that's the problem. Instead of listening to what a man say, you dismissing it as nonsense. I'm pretty sure the people in Noah's time thought that he was talking nonsense too, until the rain started. I personally have had visions that were very disturbing about us being hit. And I can just say it on there. It is what it is. I've had visions about us being hit by a tsunami. And I've shared it with people. It's not like I kept it to myself. And to hear multiple people come with the same type of warning is chilling. Whether you believe in God or not, whether you believe in, whatever you know that there are consequences to our actions. And we just can't continue to pile sin on top of sin on top of sin on top of sin, and then act all shocked when we face the consequences of those actions. And you don't have to be a genius to figure out that we have long passed that line in terms of what we see happening in our society. The murder rate out of control. And, I'm talking more specifically about New Providence and to a lesser degree Grand Bahama, but New Providence is out of control. Where they killing people for sport. Like this a game. And know that there's consequences for our actions. We can't continue to shut God out and say, I don't want to hear nothing but no God, and I don't want nothing to do with no God, and y'all believe it in a fairy tale. And then when something go wrong, the first person you want to blame is God. But how, if you are loving God, how could you allow this to happen? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, we don't have nothing to do with your God. And then when you face the consequences of your own devices, come back and blame the same God, but you say you don't have nothing to do with. You can't have your cake and eat it too. We want to live any kind of way, do any kind of thing. And then when we face the consequences, we want to blame God for the consequences that we're facing for our own actions. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Vernon says, I said this before, it is written in the Bible, when the wicked rule, the people mourn. You know, I heard somebody say the other day, some prophet was, and I ain't saying everybody who prophesying know what they're talking about, because some of them, you know, they be prophet lying. But then some of them you need to listen to. You know, I remember some years ago when a young lady got on Facebook and she was crying about what she saw and people being dragged in the street and bloodshed and all this kind of stuff. And people, I mean, told her, call everything but a child of God, and tell her she need to go sit down and all this kind of stuff. And then they had that accident where people were literally dragged in the street. Remember that accident they had on that Labor Day? I mean, what she said when she was talking about her prophecy, spot on. But you would have people who say, oh, that's just a coincidence. Or, oh, she talking foolishness. Or she, you know. So you dismiss the warnings. And then when something happens, you can try to blame God. Well, how could there be a God? If he was a loving God, how could he let this happen? He ain't let it happen. He sent the warnings, but you ain't listen. That's the problem. We want to live any kind of how, do all the foolishness we want to do, and then when we face the consequences, we want to turn around and blame God. How you could blame God and you run him? And you say, I want nothing to do with you. Keep your God to yourself. Explain how this works. And, you know, typical human nature, we get hit with a terrible disaster, and for a short while, we all mourning and crying, and, you know, and it ain't just payments now. I remember after 9/11 in the United States, they said, church attendance, shut up. And all of a sudden, it was okay to be talking about God. Because prior to that, you couldn't even say God in public, practically. After 9/11, everybody found God. Even people who didn't believe in him was talking about God. But slowly but surely, the heart of the human turns. And you get right back to your wicked ways. That's just who we are as humans. So, Carlton, don't say why I listening to nonsense from these people, because that's the problem right there. Maybe you ought to listen to what the man say. Maybe. So anyway, I can let y'all think about that one. We way off track with breaks. My second break was supposed to be at 3 o'clock. It's 3:23. Let's take this quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue with our open line show on this TGIF Friday. Stay with us.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Youngevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support zinc, plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this TGIF Open Line show where you are my co-host and we get to talk about the week that was. Telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, the WhatsApp line. Boy, I checked the WhatsApp line since Jason gave me the phone. WhatsApp line 8010271. Y'all ain't checking me today on WhatsApp. Let me see. Let me see if we have any WhatsApp messages. No WhatsApp messages. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the week that was. Speaking of what we're doing in our nation now, we get to the point now where we're shooting up baby showers and innocent people getting, shot down. And we have a situation now where a young woman has been missing now for 2 weeks. And her family is obviously very concerned. When this story first surfaced, the family and friends were complaining that the police wasn't taking the matter seriously because they went to report the young lady missing. And according to them, the police allegedly said to them that they weren't in a rush to go look for her because of the type of person that she is. Now, I don't know what that means. But 2 weeks later, this young lady has still not been found. And is the audio open for me to play a clip? And clearly, this has really really taking a toll on her loved ones. The fact that this young lady still has not been found. And this isn't one of those cases where you got the teenage girls who run away from home or whatever. This is a 27-year-old woman. This is what her family and friends are saying about her disappearance.
So 2 weeks, I can't take it no more. I don't know what I can do, but only one thing, I believe in Jesus.
The frantic search for 27-year-old Rochelda Woodside continues as today makes 14 days since she's been missing. And at this point, her mother, Carmelita Woodside, is concerned that her child may be held captive.
I see when she jump on a car, I don't call nobody name. So only one things, all Anglican people know who carry my daughter. So because I see my too high, that's why I don't call nobody name. So all them Anglican people know which car she been.
Rochelda's friend of 23 years, Bradleisha Bullard, also sending this impassioned message to those who may be responsible.
I pray to God that your conscience really gets to you, and you, whoever it is, and whoever had some sort of dealings, I pray to God that your conscience, everyone has a conscience. I believe this, that everyone has a conscience. And if you have a conscience, I pray to God that your conscience allows you to say what happened.
Her mother also expressing that this extended period of being without her daughter has been one of the most unbearable experiences of her life.
Anytime I go bed 2 o'clock, sometimes I go back 1 o'clock, I still can't sleep. I sit in radio, wait for my child. When I hear car, I take my child come. When I see dog barking, I take my child come. That's why sometimes 2 o'clock, I said on my yard, my grandbaby, she said, Mommy, what happened? You never be outside like that. What happened? I say, I don't tell her what happened exactly. I can't go in the bed. When I close my eye, I see my daughter.
In fact, she says it's now affecting her well-being.
I get full pain. 2 weeks, I can't eat, I can't drink. I drink only cup tea.
Meanwhile, Woodside also crying shame on police as she claims that there's been little to no help from authorities in the past 14 days to help her find Rochelda.
When you go in a station, you tell your child 18 or more age, they believe he go around with the boyfriend. They didn't check. That didn't check.
However, National Security Minister Wayne Munro advised residents who may be aggrieved about authorities allegedly being discriminatory when executing their duties to file a complaint.
The police certainly have an obligation, if somebody is missing, to make inquiries.
Meanwhile, Bullard says at this point, the family is simply tired of the torture.
Y'all have people hard hurting, waking up every day with uncertainty if you can find out something today, if you can't find out something tomorrow. It's hard. And I just tired. Searching this place, searching that place, hearing this fake news, someone calling you, oh, my condolences. This is hard on the family. We just need answers.
So here's their appeal.
Who have my daughter? If he have money for you, let me know. I can pay to get my daughter.
Just come and give the family some sort of closure. Give the friends some sort of closure. If she's alive, let us know. Let her call. Let her send a voice note. Hey, I alive. Whatever. We just need closure.
I don't know if you guys have noticed how, you know how they have those electronic billboards now? And I've been seeing a lot of people on those billboards reported as missing. Like, what's going on in this town? And again, I'm not just talking about some teenage girls who, later say, oh, she someplace with man or whatever. No, I'm talking people of all ages, just missing people. Is there something brewing beneath the surface that we haven't been made aware of? What's going on? How people could just go missing? What's happening out there that we're not aware of? And the sad situation is that most of the times when these things happen in our country, and again, I don't know what happened to this young lady. I don't know if she has been abducted. I don't know if she's alive. I don't know if she just, moved to another place. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. But what often happens is somebody knows what's going on. And you sitting on this information. Somebody knows what's happening. We look at the situation with the young man who was killed the other day, Omar Davis. How many people knew what was going on? And you choose to sit and say nothing because you're trying to protect somebody. We got to do better as a nation, y'all. Like how have we come to this place? And, like I say, allegedly the police said that, allegedly, because I don't know for sure, but according to the family, when they first reported the young lady missing, they were like, maybe I should look for her. If that is true, I say shame on the police. Because regardless of what you think of an individual, they're a human being that, deserves you to do your job. So my heart goes out to the family and the friends of that young lady. I do pray that she's still alive, and I do pray that she is found sooner than later, or if she's well, that she just reaches out to somebody and says, let people know that she's okay. But it's got to be hard for that mother and that family and the friends and her loved ones. 2 weeks, no word. We don't know where this person is. No trace. But people possibly sitting on information, just not saying anything, but may have some information that could help the police. We got to do better. And I want to take it. I want to take it a step further. How we like to cloak wrong in this country, just in case you looking at the situation and saying, yeah, somebody knows someone, they ain't saying nothing. But if you, for instance, are guilty of, how these fellas is breaking people's house, take things out their house, and then show up on your doorstep, and all of a sudden they got this real good deal on this particular thing what they selling. And you buy it because it's a real good deal. And that ain't no shop was going to be selling that for that low. But you buy it because, boy, look at us. Boy, the person likely got it by dishonest means. But you still buy it. You are part of the problem. You are a part of the problem. Because if that person couldn't find anybody to buy it from them, they would be less eager to break in people's house to get the item to sell. If they know ain't nobody can buy it from them. But no, we can buy it because it's cheap. What? You selling that for what? Yeah, bring it here. You're part of the problem. Those of you who know people on the run and you got harboring them in your house, you are part of the problem. Those of you who sit on information that could help police crack cases and you ain't saying nothing, you part of the problem. We got to do better in this nation. We can't continue to pile sin on top of sin on top of sin and then not expect some kind of consequences. It don't work like that. If you plant corn, I don't know why you're surprised when corn spring up. Well, where does corn come from? Duh. That's what you planted. Those are seeds that you planted. Why are you acting surprised? Why are you out there expecting wheat when you planted seeds of corn? What we see happening in our society today is a harvest. We are harvesting the results of the seeds that were planted. You can't expect to plant these seeds and then don't reap a harvest. You ain't got to be a genius to figure this out. But we have become experts in this country. Experts at looking the other way, sweeping it under the rug, pretending we don't know what's going on. We got to do better, y'all. Everybody has to take responsibility for where we are as a nation and do your part to stamp out the wrong. Everybody. Mona Liara says the same ones that know of crimes that are being committed but stay silent, they bash the police. Oh, yeah. Nowadays, it's popular to talk bad about the police. And I ain't saying the police perfect. But how we get to this point? Brandon says, we are the problem is correct, Michelle. Is that a caller for the line? Okay, caller, welcome to GPS.
Michelle, good afternoon.
Hi.
You said the right thing just now. We have a cultivation of the intensity, and like you said, someone knock on your door and they can bring a flat screen television, say, man, give me $100 for this.
Mm-hmm. You know better. You know better.
Cell phone or laptop, man, just give me $75.
Yeah.
And so until we tell them, show me the receipt that you purchased this from, we'll continue to have, because you're giving them a habit. Hey, boy, I get money for this, I can break in somebody else's house.
Somebody else's house.
And they can continue and continue to do it until we, as Bahamians, I mean, when I'm saying we, I don't do it. I even don't buy CDs off the road. Until we stop it, we will continue. Or people come in your house, in your yard, yucking your bumper off your car, and they can bring it to you. And we'll go to the car parts place or the east side roads garage, and give me $100 for this.
Mm-hmm.
Until we stop that, we will never change. Change will never get better in the Bahamas. We will always have that starting from the primary school, and we will continue to do it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So we need to make up in our minds, like Bahamians. Like I always say, growing up, you couldn't bring a pencil home or a book home if your mommy or your daddy didn't purchase that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Carry it back, or if it didn't live too far, you had to walk and carry it back. First thing the next morning, you have to carry it back to where you got it from.
That's right.
Until we get back to that place, and like you said, children, they're not working a lick, but they can have a cell phone, put $500 in the mommy hand, and bring in TV and everything, and like I said, they're not working, but the parents are not saying, hey, where you get this from?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give it to you, you're not working. Where you getting it from?
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh my good son, that's what they'll cry out.
Mm-hmm.
But you cultivate that, you bred that, and you didn't put a stop to it.
Yeah.
And so we need to just change and get back to the old landmark when we were growing up. Thank you.
Agreed. The thing is, your son may be good to you, but he bad to everybody else. My good son, wreaking havoc on this nation. It reminds me of years ago, I used to own a lingerie store. And one day this woman comes into my store. You know, those tags that you put on clothing items, so if they try to get through the door with it, the alarm will go off, right? So this woman walks into my shop one day, and she brings this item, clearly not purchased from my store because it was like a shirt or something, with this tag on it. And she says, Miss, I just wondered if you could take this tag off of me. I didn't notice it until I got home with it, and I just need somebody to take it off. I said, you need to take that back where you buy it from. Why you bring it here? You got the receipt. Since you buy it, take that back to the shop where you buy it from and let them take it off there. Man, if looks could have killed, I'd have been pushing up Daisy. She cut her eye at me and walk out, storm out. But you see, this is the thing that we doing in this country. Now, even if she had shown me, let's say she purchased the shirt someplace in the States, right? Even if she had shown me the receipt to say, see, this is the receipt where I bought it, and I walk out and the alarm didn't go off, and now I hear in the Bahamas, and I bought this at Walmart, and I would have been willing to help her then. But you ain't coming to no receipt to show where you pay for that. But you want me to take off the tag? No, go take it back where you buy it from. See, because I'm a business owner, and I don't want nobody to do that to me. But this is what we do in this country. We like to cloak wrong. And you can, on the one hand, be so willing to cloak wrong, and then on the other hand, woe is me, how we get to this place. Man, stop it. What role you playing by keeping us in this place where we are? Because all we're doing is reaping a harvest. I saw them complaining the other day about some boy that was taken before the courts for stealing $1 out of somebody's truck. And the attitude was, oh, all this serious crime around here, and y'all around here taking this boy to court for stealing $1? Well, my view is different, you know. My view is that's where it starts. The person who committing armed robbery now, they start committing armed robbery. They start by stealing the candy when they're small, or going in somebody's purse and taking $1. They started from they were small, and ain't nobody nipped that in the bud. So they grow up thinking it's okay to take what does not belong to you. And they graduate to bigger and bigger crimes to the point where they pulling up a gun in your face and want to shoot you if you don't give them what you work for. It starts with $1. And I tell you what, he'll think twice before he fool with taking something again what don't belong to him after going through that process. But somebody needs to nip this in the bud from the young. We need to stop cloaking wrong in this country and stop thinking it's cute when they small and they do these things, because they just grow up. If you ain't guiding these young people, if you ain't teaching them from they small right from wrong, why you expect them to know it when they're adults? It don't work like that. You don't get that knowledge by osmosis. We got to do better. Because somebody knows something about that missing young woman. Her and all them other people who I see on that billboard missing. Somebody knows something. And I want to implore you to do the right thing. Yes or no, Jason? All right, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Malcolm, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Open line.
Mm-hmm.
This was the right time for Michael Pintard to say something about that big boss and stuff like that.
To say something about what?
The big boss up they had to the little thing they had the other night.
The brawl, yeah.
This was a right. Every time he have an opportunity to show the people that he's not going to tolerate with these foolishness and things, he hide behind the shadow. And, you know, I don't know if you hear the voicemail with what Leslie Miller was saying about how he's trying to reach some of these MPs and stuff now that he campaigned with.
Mm-hmm. I heard like I didn't get a voice note, but I heard him talking about it on another show.
Miss Malcolm, that's what I keep on saying all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I am a victim of this. These people, they don't want to hear you, and they don't understand. You ain't calling them for nothing, you know. Maybe a little situation in the road or something else, and you want they could get it do faster. But these people don't understand. Like they don't learn from the other party what been there before.
Now, let me just say this. I am not here apologizing for any politician, any MP, anybody who in the House is. I'm not. But I will tell you from my little experience running in the election. In any given day during that experience, my phone, because people, particularly in that community, needed so much help and still do, my phone would be ringing straight through from morning till night with people needing help to the degree that I couldn't keep the phone charged. Because that's how, as soon as you hang up, another call. As soon as you hang up, another call. And I said to my good friend, who was my my campaign coordinator, I said, okay, now I understand why some of these MPs has changed their number. Because it just non-stop call. I was like, wow. So again, I am not trying to make an excuse for them because you sign up to become a representative of the people. You can't hide from the people you say you won't represent.
Exactly.
So don't get me wrong by what I'm saying here.
And the last point, Mr. Davis, I think they're doing a fairly good job. But Mr. Davis said, when they get in office, these were his words, we are going to hold anyone that was wrong, that did wrong. Anything that we find that was wrong, we are going to hold them accountable and deal with them. Well, so far, thank God for Ms. Butler, who bring out the member parliament for Long Island. But if the PLP saying what they saying, but nobody yet being held accountable, that mean all they saying but just smoke, scream, and mirror?
Well, from what I'm hearing, you will see more people brought before the courts. From what I'm hearing.
Well, I'm glad maybe what you may be hearing, Miss Malcolm. But let me tell you something. Ain't nothing gonna happen, you know. I keep on. You remember the thing with the generator in Freeport? Okay, then. You ain't nothing yet but that yet, right?
I ain't commenting on that. I ain't trying to get sued.
Okay, then. Have a good weekend.
You too. You too. We got to take one more break, y'all. I got to get my sponsors breaks in. So let's take this last break, and then we're going to wrap this up on this TGIF Friday Open Line Show. Stay with us.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklite, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients. Plus, prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
And we are back. We have time for either one more call or one more story. So since y'all ain't calling, telephone number 3260271, 3260272. WhatsApp 8010271. I'm going to play one more story. And this is good news. Particularly those of you who have children who are still in school. The Bahamas Union of Teachers and the government of the Bahamas look like they are able to work things out. And according to the union president, the threatened industrial action will not take place because they are on the road to signing a new agreement.
Members of the Bahamas Union of Teachers have returned to the classroom today, foregoing any planned industrial action. Union President Belinda Wilson shared this much as she noted that negotiations between government and teachers have been progressing in recent weeks. And after government signed off with the Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union after only several weeks of negotiations.
We are reviewing the final draft of our full industrial agreement. And we are completing a few details and should be completed by tomorrow with a view to signing a new industrial agreement for all of the members of the Bahamas Union of Teachers. From Grand Bahama to Inagua, we expect to sign in short order.
Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin pleased with the progress of the negotiations.
I am very pleased that teachers will be in the classroom today, that next week the children of this nation will return to school fully face-to-face, and we can begin to stabilize education in this country.
In July, the union delivered a 7-day ultimatum for the government to sign off on an industrial agreement, as the union and education officials have been at the negotiation table for almost 3 years. Minister Hannah Martin acknowledged that she can't speak to what took place as it relates to negotiations before she came into office.
At least 2 other unions have completed their negotiations, so I don't know what has led to the prolonged one in the BUT in particular. But the bottom line is that the whole purpose of what we all are doing is to advance education in the Bahamas. So whatever we do to get there should be done expeditiously.
Minister of Education admits the last 2 years has not only been taxing on the students but parents themselves. However, she wants parents to remember this heading into the new academic year.
The pandemic is still with us, but it's allowing for us to now get back to some level of normalcy, and we hope to see that in the classrooms. We want our young people to do well. We want them to excel, and we will work with parents and with all stakeholders.
Meantime, Hannah Martin is confident that school repairs will be ready for next week.
All right, so with only 2 minutes left in the show, I just want to say congratulations, kudos to all of you who made this happen, because the last thing our little darlings need is to be out of school any longer. I'm glad y'all were able to work that out, and I just want to congratulate the Davis administration thus far with the work you've been doing with the various unions. I see a lot of unions getting signed contracts, and this is a good thing. Because Lord knows we don't need the industrial action to hinder progress in this country. So very, very good job. Keep it up. That's my time, y'all. I'm Michelle Malcolm. I am out of here. It's TGIF Friday, time to go celebrate and enjoy my weekend. Hope you do the same. Be safe, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is 99.5 Global FM.